How in the hell did Hedrick get to Halfling Heaven? This week on the Hapless Heroes.
How many feet away is it from me? Because I can grapple it with my tongue from up to 10 feet away.
Hello and welcome back to the Hapless Heroes podcast. My name is Dave and I will be your host and dungeon master for this evening. As the insidious villain I am, I'm going to start this evening the same way I start every other evening. By introducing our
dastardly
cast.
person.
I know, and I'm so dastardly that I'm going to start from my right with Francesco as the fabulous Felix Fizzlebottom.
I will have another plan soon.
To his right, we have John as Lord Jarrell the Light.
Hedrick, I'd like to introduce you to the sausage.
To his right, we have Nicole as Boris the Butcher.
Hedrick!
To her right, we have Zach as Pregnart.
If having a sausage best friend is wrong, I don't want to be right.
To his right, we have Phil as the returned Hedrick the Entertainer.
This is not my beautiful house.
To his right, we have Mike as Lord and Captain Quinn Southwind.
It is so nice to have you back, Hedrick. We always need another bard.
And to his right, we have James as Hoblet the Smasher.
Good evening, friendos.
As we left off, Hedrick had just recently returned to us from the depths of a Black Diamond of Garthax, not to be confused with the Black Diamond of Garthax, which I guess becomes less of a definite article when it ceases to be the definite article, which has also then been reduced to, has been transmuted with the third eye of Vecna, which has now become shards and or sharts of Vecna, depending on whom you ask.
I don't know if it's, as we said, oily and steamy. It seems like a pretty apt conclusion to settle on shart.
I hate
there we
so
go.
much of what we do.
I know I hate settling on a shart too, but
I mean, really, at the end of a day,
It happens.
what a shart really is just a failure of trust.
it's always that. It's always a mess if it happens when you're sitting down and settled on it. All right, I'm done. Go on, Dave.
That's doubtful, but okay.
I don't actually think you're done.
Sometimes, under the worst of conditions, you just have to let it happen.
Yeah.
So anyways, the last time
Yes.
on the show,
When we were here, Hedrick had just recently returned to us into the midst of thin air, and then after dramatically singing it out, dropping to the ground in superhero pose and closing out the episode with as dramatic an episode as I could have thought possible. You have succeeded at a quest, and now you're just standing there in the post-climax, the, I guess, post-ritualization phase.
You say that we've completed a quest in such surprising, like it's a surprise that we completed a quest.
hey, we've completed many quests, okay?
Right,
It's
that's
not
what I'm
that
saying.
surprising.
Right, exactly.
It's not always a thing that it has a clear delineation like that. I think sometimes our quests get muddled into each other.
That's fair enough.
Yeah. I mean, that being said, though, there are a few loose ends here in that, right, Jarrell still needs to ascend. We've only addressed the temporary problem that we had to solve, which was the thing in my head. And also, we haven't heard from Brewhoff since that whole situation was done with. And we are in his place in Halfling Heaven. So maybe that's where we start. So I guess we're opening right back into like pretty much the end of Hedrick's tune, right? Okay, he finished. We all clap, right? Or most of us clap. I'm assuming we're all clapping.
Clap. Boris doesn't clap. Boris squeals and runs up and hugs Hedrick.
Pregnant quacked.
Hedrick rises to his feet and looks down at little Boris, and then he's scanning the space that he's in, and he's very shocked to see Pregnart joined with the party, and he's even more shocked to see a 45-pound sausage standing next to him, and he raises an eyebrow at that. And then I'm not so sure. There's an upper section to this room, correct? Is that
Like
where Bruhoff
rafters, right?
Yeah, something
that where
like
Bruhoff
that.
went?
Bruhoff climbed up something because, as I recall, I described this sort of like a surgical viewing room where it had, a nice round space at the bottom and a, balcony kind of going across that. And he was up above that. He had climbed up into some rafters up above to manipulate time and or rosemary piss water. I don't know.
So I guess I'll call up real quick. Like, Hedrick, there's a lot we have to catch you up on, but just 1 sec, bud, because we're not the only ones here, to my knowledge. Bruhoff, is everything okay up there? I'm gonna just shout up into the rafters. Like, we did it! You did it! You're the greatest transmuter of all time!
You hear nothing.
That's worrisome. Hang on, everybody. And I'm gonna kind of like, tap my shoulder a couple times, and Slim is gonna poke her head out, a little familiar. And I'm gonna just like point up and have her fly up into the rafters and do a little aerial scan with my eyeballs through her eyeballs.
Up at the far top, there seems to be some sort of cupola up in the ceiling there that had some equipment in there and a big science-y bucket seat made out of a couple of different kinds of patched leather, like somebody, salvaged an old bomber or something like that.
In heaven.
Obviously, yeah, very, very salvagey, steampunky looking chair.
Okay.
And Slim is just kind of seeing it from the back now among all the things, but doesn't seem to see any of Bruhoff sticking around it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have her. I mean, she's gonna just fly straight into like the whole area. She's gonna. I mean, I'm scanning the entire like rafter area for any signs of life.
Yeah. And as she gets closer to the chair, what she hears is a.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Did he Benjamin Button himself?
Yes, swaddled in the now crumpled clothes of Bruhoff is a baby halfling.
Oh no. Okay. Oh.
Wait,
shit.
we know that this is the guy? How do we know that this is Bruhoff?
He was the only person here, and it's his house.
Wait, is he like sitting in his clothes that are now too big for him?
In a pile of them, yeah, sort of swaddled into the shirt.
That's how you know. That's the trope. That's the good thing that you know from.
So switching back to Felix's senses, I'm going to say to the group, so Bruhoff's a baby now.
Is he sitting in the pile of his clothes? How do you know?
He is sitting in a pile of his clothes. That is a very astute observation, Pregnart.
That's a dead giveaway.
Well, we can't just leave him like that.
Why not? We're in heaven, right? What's the worst that could happen? He's a baby in heaven.
I don't know, maybe it's some other kind of test. Like, I really don't want to test the waters here in Halfling Heaven of what is and is not acceptable. And I feel like, though, abandoning a baby is definitely, like,
even in
just
heaven,
like a terrible thing for us to do here in heaven. Now, that's just like, it's my personal take. And, this man was kind enough to help me out of a rather sticky situation. So I feel like the least we could do is at least see him to proper care. I don't know how things work up here, okay? Like, I don't know if he's just infinite. I mean, it seems like it, right? It's heaven. It means he's already dead. Like, I don't know. I don't know how any of this works. But I just don't want to leave that baby up there, because that just seems like a bad idea.
Pregnant tears a strip of cloth from his robes and fashions a baby Bjorn, like he does, and he coddles the baby.
How are we getting it down?
Well,
Yeah,
Wait, where is it? I thought it was just on the chair.
In the raft.
in the rafters.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where he
Let's
was
go.
before.
Okay,
Jeez.
I mean, is there like some sort of pillars that like he climbed up there, right?
Yeah, he took some scaffolding and 2 rope ladders to get up there.
Yeah, so Boris climbs that.
Yes, Boris, you are now up there with a sort of fussy baby. A baby halfling. I don't how small is a baby halfling? I feel like it would be a really small thing, like a kitten.
Well, they call them quarterlings, I think, for a little bit.
Oh,
I mean,
perfect.
they do now.
So is it a quarterling or is it an eighthling if it's that young?
Well, no, we're gonna stick with quarterling because that sounds really good. It rolls off the tongue. I don't like eighthling. It seems a little jerky in the middle of the
Too
word.
hard.
Sounds like a
thing.
disease.
Yeah, quarterling has a good flow. So I think quarterling is our new name for
Baby halflings.
baby halflings. Yes.
Okay,
So-
yeah,
and,
it is
it is-
known.
Yeah, it is about the size of a newborn kitten, I guess. I don't know, like, or not new. I don't, how small is a newborn kitten? They're probably too small. Like a small
too
kitten,
small.
like something that fits in your hand. Like if you were to stretch your pinky and thumb as far apart as they go, that's how long that baby would be.
Cool. So Boris like picks up the baby.
Yes,
And
even
then-
Boris could probably one-handed this baby.
Yeah, she one hand picks it up and then kind of like looks down at Pregnart, who has the baby Bjorn, and then looks at the baby.
He outstretches his
And
arms
looks
as if you might even
Pregnant.
consider tossing it down to him.
Do not.
I got
As I say,
Boris
if there's
looks down at the scaffolding, and, like considers trying to climb down one-handed, then pulls open a pocket, sticks the baby inside, doesn't throw the baby inside, but like gently places the baby inside a pocket, climbs down the scaffolding, and then pulls the baby out of the pocket.
Okay, is this a normal pocket or is this one of your?
No, these are my crazy pockets.
Okay.
I have a
When the
goldfish
baby-
alive in one. The baby should be fine.
There's also
Yes.
like knives in there and shit.
Not in that pocket.
All right, one of the non-knife pockets. That
that's her
Boris
baby
suddenly
pocket.
has.
Come on.
It's my baby pocket.
one of the not knife pockets. Well, you should have a knife in every pocket.
That's what I thought.
So, what is essentially possibly a brand newborn baby in one of the times most impressionable to it when it is first learning about the universe is faced with a non-Euclidean space on its first day in the world.
Okay, I put it
Very
in the one with the
befitting.
goldfish then.
That's good for babies.
It doesn't actually matter if the goldfish is in there or not because the baby comes out with a 1,000-yard stare and very quiet.
Very befitting of the world's best transmutationist.
Boris holds the baby out to Pregnart and goes, "Look, I calmed her down for you." Him?
Let me have
To
the
him?
baby.
Yeah, did it
So-
also change into a girl baby?
No.
No, I could see how the frog might be confused.
Frog's not confused. Frog
Boris
coddles the baby.
definitely
Okay.
said
Bjorn.
her.
What if we used some of that time we gave him before? Is it possible that we could revert him to his true age?
Do you know how time magic works, Jarrell?
You would know probably better than I.
I don't know shit about time magic.
Well, then no, I don't know.
Plus, it seems like we only have like 1 day to. Didn't Boris only steal 1 day of time?
There was a lot more time in there,
Oh, right.
wasn't there?
Yes, there was.
I'm sorry. Felix is gonna put in. I'm sorry. Boris, you stole what?
Wait,
A
did anyone
baby!
say-
There's a baby.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
stole
yeah.
a baby. We should focus on the problem at hand. I'm gonna go
Listen.
get the rest of that jar of time so that we can figure out if that will help.
Jesus,
Boris walks out of the room.
Just a second there, Boris. I know a bullshitter because I'm one too. So I'm just gonna go ahead and
So
stop.
I'm
you
going
there.
to adjudicate and say that one's making a persuasion and one's making an insight.
Well, deception. Nicole should definitely do deception.
How about her
Sure, well,
deception
it's-
versus my deception? Damn it, I know a bullshitter.
I mean, I was deceiving, but I also said I left the room as I was deceiving, so I don't really
Quickly
care if you
scuttled out.
believed me.
Fair enough. We don't have to play that one out. And Felix, you are free to doubt as you see fit because Boris has walked out the door in the midst of your sputtering.
I'm gonna turn to the rest of the crew and be like, "What did Boris steal?"
I don't know if any of us really noticed outside of maybe Pregnart. Because I think her level of sleight of hand is far above any of us trying to
Anyone's
perceive what
passive
she's
perception,
stealing.
right.
You're right.
Yeah, it's literally impossible to catch Boris stealing anything.
Yeah, the only thing-
Hamlet might turn to him and be like, oh, the kid's got sticky fingers. Don't worry about it so much.
Okay. Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
easy
we've-
for you to say, buddy.
We've watched her steal everything.
Listen, we were a few hours from being smitten,
You were.
smited,
Asterisk.
smote.
You.
No, smitten works.
Smoten?
Smart.
Smart?
I feel like smitten is when you're like love struck.
Right.
No,
I
so
know.
it works
Sound
both
right.
ways. It can be smote and was smitten.
So
it works
being
both
love
ways.
struck and being completely obliterated by a divine being is the exact same thing.
If you've ever
think
had
about
it
it.
happen to
English.
you, yes.
You've clearly never been in love.
Oh,
I actually surprisingly looked this up. 'Cause somebody said it in the last session, and I was like, "Is smitten work? Does it work here?" And it does.
You fucking would look that up.
I would look it up.
he did.
Yeah.
So
Also-
smote or smitten works.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with smote.
Believable thing happens. More to 11. Anyhow, the jeez, I threw myself off with my own cleverness there. That's absolutely fucking awful.
So are we? Are nobody's following Boris? Is that?
I
Yeah,
I don't know where she's going. We're all here.
I think
So,
Boris
crew.
even told you guys where she was going, so hopefully somebody listened.
or else she's gonna steal everything and just be a time lord.
Okay, we need to stop this before Boris Time Lord is the new fucking BBEG. So yeah,
How
I'm
long
gonna
would
follow.
it take Boris to get there? Like, is Boris already there?
Because it's interesting to me, yes, Boris is now there. We have jumped times and places to Boris being at the time closet.
So Boris
You
is going
arrive-
to really quickly pour a little bit, like a half cup or so of time into a container, and then put all of the rest of the time that she can see in her pockets except for that.
I'm sorry. And when you say a cup, do you mean a metric cup or?
A half a metric cup.
Good. This is good to know. Half a metric cup.
All of the rest of the available time goes into her pockets.
Okay. Let's see. We're gonna say that in aggregate.
Dave was
You
not
now
anticipating
have-
you doubling back and stealing all the time, so
Yeah, but it's okay because rolling a dice can do a lot of different things. Young aspiring DMs out there. I could be looking for a result. I could be looking for an indicator to go one way or the other, or I could just be rattling that thing around in my hand, stalling for time until I think that Boris has now 6 days, 12 hours, and 37 minutes stored up.
So you could say that she's got a lot of time on her hands.
yes.
Very
In my
good.
pockets.
Somebody
We
set my
won't,
or spiked my set. Thank you.
Is
The
that
funny
on
thing
top of or including the day I already had?
No, in aggregate, including the day you already had.
Okay.
So another 5 days and whatever else I just said.
Okay. 12 hours, 37 minutes.
Yeah.
After putting
so-
that in her pockets, Boris is going to make it
12,
look like she's
37.
kind of in the process of just kind of like wait for somebody else to come into the room.
Yeah, I think we arrive like probably moments after you've done all of the things you've already done. So,
Yeah,
like, we didn't
even-
see
yeah.
you do it.
Because even if you had departed the room immediately after Boris and followed it a dead run, Boris still has enough manual dexterity to be able to do that entire thing in the second or two before you get into the room.
like the record to show Hoblet did not go try to stop Boris from stealing shit.
No,
That's not his
because
style.
why the fuck would he?
Right.
I'm not saying that necessarily anyone was going to stop Boris. It was more to just caution Boris, observe Boris,
These
you
all
know.
sound like snitch behavior.
work like a team with Boris. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really what I'm getting at.
So we
Part of
should be
being a
stealing
good-
time too.
Right.
No, we should just be making sure that what we're stealing is going to be used for the greater good.
The greater good.
So you
The
doubt
greater
Boris'
good.
character at this point in time?
I'm not doubting anyone's. You're putting words in my mouth right now, bud.
Why would a Hokov steal something not for the greater good?
Listen, she's just the newest member of the crew, and she's got some very sticky fingers, and I want to make sure we don't get into trouble with the literal higher ups.
Fair enough.
With sufficient personal conviction, anything's for the greater good.
The
Right.
greater good.
Any pizza is a personal pizza if you put your mind to it.
See, there it is.
That's an attitude I can completely get behind,
But is there
I-
pineapple on it?
Never.
my man.
Jarrell is still introducing Hedrick to Teriso, the other newest member of the party.
Yes, I like this, and we're gonna cut the scene back. Please give me a
Chorizo
little
is the
interaction
newest
with
member.
this.
Yeah. Actually, hold on. So who came with me to check out what Boris was doing, and who is here with Hedrick and Chorizo and Pregnart? And the
See, he's asking the responsible DM questions. I'm just like, all right, this sounds like good story. We're gonna go here.
I
Yes,
think
we
that
are.
But who is here versus there? So we have Pregnart, Chorizo, Jarrell, and
Pregnart
Hoblet.
left Chorizo behind by accident. Pregnart was distracted and went into the time funnel P room. and
Wonderful. That's even better.
accidentally left Chorizo behind.
Okay, so Hedrick, Chorizo, Jarrell. Did you stay behind? I think you did.
yeah,
right?
he's the one introducing Hedrick to the.
Okay,
the sausage
excellent.
now.
This is the scene I really want to see. Is like Hedrick, Jarrell, and Chorizo.
I'm off to the side. I did say that I did not go to snitch on Boris too,
Yeah.
but Hoblet is weirded out by the sausage. So he's just kind of sharpening Trixie or something over on the side.
Pregnart only went because he still wants to taste some of that time.
Okay, and Pregnart, being Pregnart is probably a little faster than your average person. I would say Pregnart arrives at that scene first. I just want to kind of shift back here, check out the other one, and then we can explore the time closet a little more.
Okay.
So,
Jarrell?
yeah.
Just awkwardly, like, waiting for Hedrick to shake the Mickey Mouse hand of the sausage. I'm imagining he has Mickey Mouse hands with the white
too.
gloves.
That's right. That's what he
Yes,
does.
very hamburger helper is in my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, Phil already drew this. Like, we know what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Jarrell, I had a terrible dream. And you were there. Hoblet was there. Captain was there. This little sausage fella here wasn't there. Now, am I still dreaming?
The sausage
you're-
is just sort of like bobbing up and down like he's in a Betty Boop cartoon.
1930s animation bop going on.
Right.
He's just doing
Steamboat sausage.
that. Oh yeah. Yeah, steam. Definitely.
You're not dreaming
he's gonna-
anymore.
All right.
Are you suffering
Hey.
any more ill effects from that gem you are in?
Well, let me ask you something. What's a drunkard's favorite line of work? Whiskey business. It's good to see you, friend. Hey, I'm kind of peckish here. I'm a little parched. Is there something to drink around here?
I can make him water.
Do you think Boris has got any of that clangarang wine?
Perhaps. We can go check.
Where in the hell are we?
Apparently, we are in Habit Heaven.
Hobbit heaven. Not even
Halfling
halfling.
heaven. Hoblet heaven. No,
Oh, what
Hoblet
now?
heaven was
They're
earlier.
like the same thing.
No, Hobbit Heaven was way earlier.
Oh yeah,
Hobbit
we were in
almost
Hobbit
no
Heaven.
halfling.
And Hobbit Heaven is a different established universe.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, we're only slightly ripping it off.
Halfling
Shit,
Heaven.
man.
Does D&D slightly rip off Tolkien?
Just a little.
I mean,
There's no ripping anything off. It's all inspiration.
Right, we create the story.
it's either not at all or entirely J.R. Tolkien's fault that he did such a good job that his description of these races literally became the default depiction of these races.
Well, orcs didn't even exist until Tolkien, right? So.
Yeah. He's really good.
Anywho,
Well,
so we're going to get some
we're-
wine.
Well, we're in heaven. You must be pretty close to your ascension, right?
I think there's only 1 or 2 more levels left. Yes.
So, what do you think our chances are? Speak common with me.
I'm hoping that if we just climb higher on that mountain, we'll get there. But that hasn't seemed to work yet.
Also, this is out of character here, but that mountain we left way behind, right? We just plane shifted to this particular heaven, so now we have no idea where the fuck we are.
Which is
Oh,
also,
I thought
it is also mountainous. It does kind of sweep up the same way. The sky is a little different here. Give me a second. I'll find where in my source book I had the note on it.
Because they said that this was level 2. We were on level 1, level 2.
No,
and
we
then...
started at 2, I think. We are now at 3, I believe.
Okay. I can't. Jarrell would know how much further we have to, in terms of levels, not necessarily how to get there.
Yeah. Oh, we are on the 3rd layer, Venya, and I have the green fields open. Here we go. This is the Pearly Heaven. So a slightly different sky, and the mountains here are more smooth and round, but still freaking gigantic, and they're covered with plains, and the sky is very pearly colored. It's almost not even blue. It's like sort of a, off pearly white all over.
And then what was the level that we were supposed to get above this one? Was it 1 or 2
Yeah,
more
we're supposed to
levels?
go to the next one up. Yeah.
And that's 4. So that's level 4.
Selania, the Electrum Heaven, which is where Arakanor, the home of Moradin, resides.
Oh, okay, cool. That's the
late.
Oh, right, he's dead. I forgot about that.
Yeah, there is that, but I do believe I had said, and if I hadn't, well, then I've spoiled and whatever, that Arakanor is the destination.
Yeah.
You have.
Yeah.
No, you mentioned that, because you said that's where Valen has her sort of seat of power right now.
Yeah, that's kind of where she's set up her sort of field office. Field base, whatever. Forward operating base. Sure, that too.
Got a fob up there?
Yeah, why not?
All right.
I mean,
think
there's a war going on out here in the plains. It's not just confined to the mortal realms.
She does seem like tip of the
Yeah.
spear kind of bitch too. so-
That and the resident of that house has already been killed in the fighting.
By us.
Well, no,
No.
we used his power
By our choice, yes.
to stop a terrible thing from happening. So
Subsequently killing him.
Moradin's power was used. Moradin died. Those two events happened right next to each other.
At the same time.
Yeah. I didn't... But whether it's a coincidental, relationship or a causal relationship has not been determined.
right.
Mhm.
Y'all only just made sort of the inferences that that's what was the cause, but it was never ever actually confirmed. I did not confirm that when I ran that session.
Didn't they
Oh, I
warn
see.
us? Oh, I thought that was part of the warning when we used that.
I mean, he said he was weak. It's also been years since I ran that, so I could have forgotten the details. One of
God-
our listeners will kindly.
Gods are dying. Yeah, and our listeners actually know our lore. We just kind of
Make it up as we go? No, come on.
Valbril, this is not the first time y'all have rescued me. Frankly, I'm getting a little sick of it.
Me too.
But I do hope I get the chance soon to express my gratitude to y'all. In fact, there are times when you'll need someone. I will fight by your side. Valen's the light that shines. Blessings for you and me.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Perfect.
What's up?
Speaking common.
Everybody understands common.
Are we cutting back to the Boris situation? Because I'm genuinely.
Yeah, I think we've
Curious
sort of done
about-
that, and yes, Boris, having just pillaged the cabinet, is first approached by Pregnart.
Can I taste some of that?
Yeah, absolutely. Boris hands him the only glass that's in the room.
That's the little bit you had set aside, right?
Yeah, the half cup. Half
Ah.
metric cup.
We're never gonna let you live
An
that down,
important
Dave.
distinction. Oh no, I've squared with it. I like it as much as 11 in the afternoon at this point.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Pregnart dips his pinky in, takes the smallest amount, and puts it in his mouth.
I was waiting for him to do something else with it.
He's tasting it.
Yeah, it is a complex flavor.
Of piss and rosemary?
Well, I mean, there are herbals and there's botanicals. It has a little bit of a kind of mineral taste to it. It is mostly piss and rosemary, but
That's what it's made of?
Yeah.
Or that's just the taste?
no, those are the prevailing tastes. I mean, it tastes like piss and rosemary.
Yes.
As it turns out, thyme itself is mostly made out of piss and rosemary.
Yeah, it's not actually made of those things, but that's kind of what you get from it. It's more complex, and you being a chef would be able to pick out that subtle umami flavor underneath all of it, and some of the individual spices. But I mean, it's just dominated by piss and rosemary.
What can you mix together to make piss and rosemary? Because I don't want to mix stuff together to make that. Like if it's not
Okay,
actually
so-
piss and rosemary, what is it? So I never mix that together and accidentally make a piss and rosemary soup.
Well, no, you would be accidentally mixing together the primordial forces of nature itself. But if you
okay.
want to approximate it, what you do is you go to the grocery store and you pick up a 6-pack of Poland Spring, and
Okay.
you go to the McCormick Spice aisle and you get a thing of rosemary. And
Right.
when you go home, you go to town on the 6-pack of Poland Spring. And when the mood strikes you, you fill the rest of the rosemary container. Voila.
Time.
So,
Voila, there's the recipe for time.
so if you really like us,
No!
No, that's just imitation thyme flavor.
No.
Right.
Yeah,
That's the
it's
imitation.
imitation time flavor. But just because you might want that and just because you might love us doesn't mean you should R. Kelly your spice rack, okay?
I can't
don't
believe it's
ar-
not time.
If you get nothing else from this podcast, please remember this. Do not R. Kelly your spice rack.
I mean,
We all know
You're
real
hysterical.
time.
No
Right.
exceptions.
All right, so we're going to try to pull it back in. So Pregnart has arrived and he got his little taste. And who else was approaching the time cabinet? We would have a Felix who's a little bit slower. We'd have a Quinn. I think Quinn and Felix would probably arrive together since you don't have the benefits of four-legged frog bouncy speed.
Wait, does nothing else happen to Pregnart from tasting time itself?
No, because you're just taking a little taste. Maybe it shifted you in age or something like that. Maybe it gave you a little bit of insight. I mean, we're only talking about a couple of seconds here. That's barely even like a spell slot.
Okay. I can live with that.
Now, then after that happens, Felix and Quinn, you guys also arrive on the time closet. and you see, Pregnart's done something, but his back is to you, so you can't quite tell. But it looks like Boris is holding a cup of time there. Maybe have a cup metric, I presume.
She gave the cup to Pregnart.
Oh, she gave the cup to Pregnart. Okay.
I specified that I gave the whole cup to him.
Okay. So I kind of retcon that. You can't quite see the cup in Pregnart's hands, and once you get around him, you would be able to see that he's holding half a metric cup of time.
So I'm just gonna just say to the crew gathered here, hey friends, see we are here raiding the time closet.
Pregnart, write some.
Oh, how much?
Only a little. I'm looking for the time nachos to dip in.
Okay, so I'm just gonna listen. I'm not gonna claim that I know much about time magic, but we saw what it did to our friend here, and I'm gonna look down at the baby Bjorn that Pregnart is wearing, and say, maybe, just maybe, we should proceed with extreme caution when handling liquid time, as this is the first time that I believe any of us have ever encountered anything like this before, like literally ever. So, if we're going to take it and hang on to it, I don't know how much we have in our possession, and you know what? I'm not even going to ask until it's relevant, because I don't really care. I don't. Like, it could be useful. I'm never going to doubt that having literal extra time on our hands is not going to be useful at some point. I would like to figure out if we can learn more about it, and maybe part of that is getting our friend back to a normal age so he can explain how it works. So that maybe, just maybe, if we need to, say, turn back the hands of time a little bit on the situation that's happening in our prime material plane, maybe we could use some of this for that and prevent the destruction of the homes that we all know and love.
Okay.
Just gonna put that out there.
Boris dips her finger in the glass and flicks it towards Felix, so he gets smacked with a drop, and then goes, "Felix, you're such a worrywart, but okay."
Ben
I
looks
was
pretty
just-
defeated from that.
I was also gonna say I saw Mike slow clapping, but I didn't hear the clap.
Oh.
But yeah.
Yeah, Quinn's just slow clapping behind Boris at your amazing diatribe. It was just great.
It's just the formulation of a plan. It's the idea that will eventually become the plan. Sort of just setting an agenda, if you will.
No, I'm in support. I support you.
I appreciate that, Quinn. I really
You're
hope
welcome.
you're being
You're welcome.
sincere.
As sincere as I always am.
That is not a vote of confidence in yourself, bud. So I just want to put that out there. Anyways.
I'm heard.
So I'm going to suggest we don't give any more time to the baby here. But maybe we could find somebody in heaven who could take care of said baby. I mean, if it is eternal up here, eventually this baby's going to regrow to be the full-grown adult that...
Or he could just stay a baby forever.
was. Yeah, I don't know how this shit works, but
Yeah, you just made a huge leap in logic that I
Also,
did.
Jarrell's not there.
Oh, right. I'm still with Hedrick and Therese.
Yes.
So I'm just gonna say this. I'm just gonna say that, because I don't know how anything works. We just need to find someone to help. I really don't want us to be responsible for a baby dead immortal halfling thing. I don't know. I don't know
Where's
how
it
shit
gonna
works
go
up
if
here.
it dies?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's already in heaven. There's not really a lot of bad things that can happen to it.
So that's what I'm saying, though. I would like for this baby to remain in heaven, in the heaven that it belongs in. So maybe we don't keep the baby on our adventures where it could easily be hurt. So maybe, just maybe, we find some wonderful halfling family in this halfling heaven who will help raise this baby, eternally raise this baby. I don't know. Again, I don't know how this works. But I just say that we deal with this baby problem before it becomes a larger problem. That's step one.
I think it just sharded.
Again, see, this is just a problem that we don't need to have. Like, I don't deal with kids, man. I don't know how to take care of a baby. And I feel like our line of work is not conducive to babies.
Pregnard, I think you and Teresa would make amazing parents.
Thank you.
Pregnart uses shape water to clean the baby off. And, I don't know, something else. Gives it
animal handling for how well
you
change his diaper.
Animal handling.
Then waves it around, towels it
Sure.
off, dries
Yeah.
it off.
Oh, any baby-related stuff is definitely an animal handling check. Are you kidding?
Fair, I guess.
Animal handling, I think we as a podcast have made animal handling much more of a versatile skill than just handling animals. I mean, hell, Quinn used it to see how well he performed with those cougars.
Yep.
It was cougars. Of course it's animal handling.
Right. That was a throwback.
Yep.
So one of my favorite moments of the show.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a versatile skill. It'd be dumb as hell as a skill if you didn't, like, what was it, friggin' Rangers would use it, like, once every, 20 friggin' sessions? Whoop-de-damn-do. Of course you need to apply it to stuff.
So anyways, I say, if anyone else is in agreement with me, that maybe the plan is to just, I don't know, find a long-term care situation for our baby friend.
The baby.
I would say about at this point, Jarrell, Hedrick, and Teresa come rounding the corner looking for some wine for Hedrick.
They do. That sounds fantastic. And now the party is reunited. Well, if Hoblet decided to tag along. I could see how
the word wine.
Ah, there it is.
No, we're
There it
going.
is.
Yeah, we're good.
There's our connection. Now everyone's tied to the plot. Wine has brought us all together as it does.
Mm-hmm.
So, the rest of you also roll up on this situation where, as far as I can tell, Pregnart has a very small baby halfling in a baby Bjorn, is holding a cup, half metric cup, by the way, of time in his hands. Let's see, and everybody else there is just kind of standing around, trying to either make sense of Felix's latest plan or try to figure out what's going on with the baby and the cup of time.
This is the most straightforward plan I've ever come up with, and now we're trying to make sense of it? Come on, people.
So
Have you met these folks?
You haven't figured out how to revert him back to his previous age, correct?
No, Jarrell, not in the last, 15 minutes or however long it's been since this whole situation
It has been,
transpired.
4 minutes tops, I think. Nothing has transpired here.
Are these time things considered spells?
It's
None of
literally...
us... Yeah. I was going to say, none of us know anything about how time magic works. We, previous to this, only knew one person ever who fucked with time, and we forgot him when we were rescuing an entire town. And he presumably blew himself up with time magic. So...
Pregnant is just sort of...
I can't even use the mad scientist voice to be memorable.
Pregnant just from time to time is just taking a sip of this time.
I'm gonna put my hand on as I see him take like maybe his second sip or something like that. I'm gonna like put my hand like over his hand that's cupped over this metric cup, right? And I'm just like, Pregnant, what did I just say about being careful with time?
Pregnant gives you just a completely blank stare.
Yes, he does.
And a wide grin, and he has a time mustache.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm just trying to determine if this is just a magical effect or would actually count as a spell.
See, that's kind of the problem. Is he's literally taking a primordial force of nature in liquid form and drinking it.
Right. Okay, it's
While
the
on
same
the
way
outer-
as like in the same way that you can't counterspell someone drinking a potion, you can't counter a magical effect by that someone's drinking, right? It's not being cast by anything. It's
Well-
being imbibed.
Because I can dispel magic.
Have you ever tried to dispel time magic? This is probably some of the most powerful stuff in the universe.
Dispelling
Not to
time
mention,
just
yeah,
sounds like a
it's
terrible
not-
idea.
It's not dispelling a spell called forth from the kind of magic. This is literally the element.
Right.
The essence of time.
Pregnant likes it.
Oh yeah, it tastes very conceptual.
You know what? We're just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna try to like gently take the cup out of Pregnart's hands.
Yeah, he gives it to you freely. You should try it.
Here, have some. It's good.
I'm gonna pretend to take a sip
It's an
Yeah,
acquired taste.
to appease Pregnart, and I'm just be like, yeah, interesting, Pregnart. And I'm gonna try to put it on the highest shelf I could find, but you have to understand or remember that I'm 2.5 feet tall. So
So
Wait, you're doing that to
y-
appease Pregnant?
the fake sip, yes,
yes, so you put it on a nipple-high shelf.
yeah, and be like, we're just gonna leave that there.
Quinn helps a little bit and puts it on the next highest shelf.
Pregnant's
Thanks.
looking. He sees it. He's not taking his eyes off this.
I do feel like Pregnant is a frog and could potentially jump that high, but let's just pretend he can't.
How many feet away is it from me? Because I can grapple it with my tongue from up to 10 feet away.
7,000.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's not that far. You could absolutely tongue grapple the time glass.
Pregnart, I see you looking at it.
Grapple.
I
Is the essence of time a slight narcotic? Because I feel like he's already addicted.
no, he's just Pregnart.
He's trying to find out.
Pregnart, I see you looking at the cup still, and I need you to just lock eyes with me for a second, buddy, okay?
I feel like it's one of those situations where one eye goes.
Just one eye. He probably can move his eyes independently as a frog person. Oh, he's doing it IRL too. That's fantastic. Pregnart, both eyes on me. Hey, you, me, right here. Okay, so, just gonna say this again. Just want to make sure that you're seeing and hearing me clearly.
Yes,
we need to be careful with the time that we possess and not drink any of it.
No problem. I'm sorry. I was just bored.
Okay. Just we will preserve what time we have, literally. And just almost, you know what? In fact, it would be best if we all almost just completely forgot that we even had any until it's
I'll-
relevant again.
I'll forget until later when I'm passing time.
It works on a couple levels.
Oh God!
I need to like stand up. I need to like walk away. I don't even know what to say to that. So if we're all done fucking with time now, I say that we go take our time lost friend and maybe find a wonderful halfling family to pass him off to, for the lack of a better term.
You
I'm surprised Quinn
intend
or
to
Hoblet didn't steal some time to fuck with time later. All right.
you intend to keep him in baby
Cool.
form for all of eternity. And
Jerome, do you
think-
have any ideas how to turn him back into a regular person?
I feel like there may be someone who might be able to help somewhere. I feel like
I'll
leaving
tell you.
him just
I was
as
gonna
a
say.
baby.
I'll tell you who was able to help him. That guy, and I point at the baby.
I was thinking Valen can
Okay.
do most
Sure.
things.
You know what,
Well,
Jarrell?
yeah.
You know what, Jarrell? This baby and this idea is your problem. That's right. Okay, we'll go with your plan.
What's the worst that could happen? He's already in heaven.
That's why I said we
What
should
is
leave him
everybody
here.
advocating for anymore? Are you trying to take the baby with you or leave it here?
Jarrell definitely wants to take the baby with, because the worst thing that could happen is the baby dies and ends up back in heaven.
Double heaven.
Okay, Terrell.
That's
Jarrell, I'm
literally
gonna-
the worst case scenario. Like,
Jarrell.
he's not going to complete any
Jarrell.
sins that send him to baby hell.
Jarrell, let me just remind you of a situation that's been happening here, okay, bud? When the gods die, where do they go? Nowhere. They're dead.
Jarrell's going to roll a religion check to understand if a soul can even die again.
I mean, it's a good philosophical question. Sure, roll a die. Let's see what we get.
Just gonna see, we gotta see what he thinks.
We're leaving this decision up to the dice gods.
It's just a 9. He probably has no idea what happened.
Yeah. So I need 9, which gives me the flavor of vague disappointment. So, yeah, I mean, souls are souls. They get recycled every now and again, but sometimes they just wind up back in the wash. They get reincarnated. They got to go through the whole rigmarole, you know. It's like lost socks.
So I just suggest we do the right thing and just not make this an issue at all. And just, like,
Walk away.
continue on our quest and walk away.
How is he gonna turn back from baby form?
Maybe he doesn't have to, as long as he's happy.
He's
fine,
happy.
good
Well,
man.
now, correct me if I'm wrong, but the only thing that supersedes time is eternity. If there is no end to time, then it does not abide by the laws of time. So you're looking at the laws of time and the laws of heaven. Now, I don't know what y'all have experienced here, but it seems to me all we're doing here is
Uh-oh.
taking away the moments before the doomsday. Rescue away the hours in our own way. Gather the crew, we've got something to do in a hurry. Hoping that Our Lady Valen would show us the way. Pregnant takes a little sip from Boris's cup of time. Captain Quinn is standing tall, but Hedrick needs a sip of wine. Jarrell quotes an anecdote and Hoblet ponders what it means. Felix plans the situation and Chorizo's giving me the creeps.
I love this.
Teresa was dancing to that the entire time.
Until the end.
That was on the fly.
Yep.
Because that was
Yeah.
literally
All that
summary of
happened tonight.
What just happened. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Damn.
Man's got skills.
He is leveling up. For real.
Are you one of those rapists?
A serial rapist?
Yeah. You just go around and rap places? That's what it's called, right?
I just think about rapping all day long.
So you are a rapist.
I don't like that.
I
It's
forget what I
only
heard
bad
that.
on the transcripts.
Right.
Only bad on the transcripts.
Not true. There's 2 P's. There's
Right.
2 P's.
So far as I can tell, nobody would be dumb enough to read our podcast. So I think we're gonna be fine.
If we happen
Hey.
to have any hard of hearing listeners, hit me up. I sign, so I'll just start signing during the podcast, and we can put out a visual one.
Then we
You're
have
gonna
to
have to-
read
you're
the
gonna have to
whole
spell-
thing.
Oh yeah, I can
Rapid.
fall finger spell. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say you'd have to fingers that.
Oh my god. What have we done?
I
We've
doubled the P.
We've gone far astray. Yeah, we doubled the P. So now this rapist has a PP in the middle. I know. I had to go for the really dumb joke to kind of put everybody off guard so I can reset a little bit. So here we are. We're going to kind of, we'll recenter, we'll refocus a little. We've got the baby. We're still trying to make a plan for the baby, apparently. You've got, and the prevailing
I had a
options
good
are-
plan.
Your
Okay.
plan was to leave him here after he helped us. As a baby. forever as a baby after he helped you. Get that thing out of your head so that you can keep your forehead and your head in general in this plane of existence. And your idea is leave him as a baby. It's all good. Let's walk away.
I can't believe I have to have this argument with you, Terrell.
Here I thought the party was just going to be journeying to the next destination, but I see you're going to transport them there by guilt trip.
While Jarell and Felix are arguing, Boris takes one of the handful of monocles she has in her pocket and puts it on the baby and then gives the baby a bubblegum cigar.
The baby now has a bubblegum cigar.
It's
And
probably
a top
bigger
hat
than the
made
And
baby.
a
out of water.
monocle.
And
while
Prega
I'm
made
in the
a
monocle.
top hat made out of water.
Perfect. So this is now happening, right? And so I'm going
Yes,
to
these
gesture,
things have all happened to this
right?
baby.
While I'm arguing with Jarell, right? This is happening while I'm arguing with Jarell. So like
Yes,
in the
it
middle
is.
of my argument, I'm going to gesture to what's happening
Use that baby as a visual aid.
and be like, we are
Meanwhile,
not the appropriate caretakers for this magic child.
meanwhile, this
Prega's doing a
baby,
fantastic job.
the baby still has like its 1,000-yard stare from being like trapped into the pocket of eternity in Boris's coat or whatever.
Yeah,
So it has, like,
he's
all these
only
adornments.
just recovering from seeing the outside edges of reality from inside of a pocket. And can now kind of see past time and space through the monocle you've stuck up to this baby's eye.
He went from rashy to classy.
I mean, yes.
While Felix is flailing towards the baby, Boris pulls out one of the wine skeins and is trying to like give the baby a drink.
Stop!
To
Stop!
That's
We
good
need to
for
stop
babies.
this madness.
Wait,
That's
good for
is
babies.
anybody actually physically intervening to stop Boris from
Jarrell.
feeding this baby alcohol? Thank you, Jarrell. Okay.
Jarrell is pushing the wineskin towards Hedrick and reminding Boris, now we don't give baby liquor, ever. Baby,
Yeah, he won't even be able to appreciate something like this.
Boris-
You're going to give him God's wine to a baby? Use your head, Boris.
Boris,
As he like slides it.
Boris doesn't really
Yes,
like
because
fight it.
Jarrell solved two problems at once over here.
right.
Boris doesn't really fight it and lets Jarell like redirect her hands, so she's now feeding Hedrick the wine like a baby.
That's right, Mama Bird, Mama Bird. Look, 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 look.
This seems too simple, but is there like a dispel magic that I could try to?
That's
just,
what I was going to do,
cure
but
the
they told me
baby.
not to even try it.
On the baby or on the time?
the baby.
On the baby.
Is there like a magical effect? Is the
That's why I was
baby-
asking if it was a spell or if
I
it was
mean-
a magical effect. And I was going to try to dispel
Yeah,
magic.
the
on
only
it.
magical effects on the baby right now is a top hat made of water.
Okay,
Right,
so
because
it's
it was
not-
actual time, right? The physical time.
Yeah, it's it was a mishap with actual time.
Right.
Quinn is
Like,
far too sober for any of this.
That's what happens when you go to the outer planes and you have these primordial concepts turned into physical mundane shit because the whole place you're in is essentially metaphorical.
Hedrick slaps the bag.
And like, okay, so I'm like watching this like this bullshittery like take place, right? And I think about what I just said and how the fact that I'm the one who has to be the adult here.
Abandoning the baby was your adult move.
You guys
clarify
are
that.
reading. You guys are really trying your hardest to classify this as abandoning and not rehoming.
I mean,
Potato.
Because
Yeah, I
we, not good parents or role models or anything.
Agreed.
He doesn't need parents. He needs to be turned back to his proper age.
Jarrell, we can put the baby in someone's responsible care and then ask Valen when we see her, hey, by the way, we have a situation one level down. Would you mind just looking into that when you got a second in your busy schedule? Like, we just don't have to be the ones responsible for, like, you know, this.
That
this whole
sounds like a
thing.
slightly better plan than just ditching him here.
I did. We said we were gonna. Oh my gods, Jarrell. Oh, I'm just gonna cool off for a second. I'm just gonna
Pregnant?
take a lap.
Pregnart really doesn't like all this arguing around the
Around
baby,
the
so
baby.
he's gonna try to stealth away with the baby and the sausage man.
Okay, if you're using actual stealth, just let me know how you did.
It fell on the ground. Hang on.
What about
should be
chorizo?
That
Does
doesn't sound like
chorizo-
A negative modifier for a fucking sausage.
Oh, I mean, let's give this sneak a fair shake.
7.
7. You're aided by the social awkwardness going on around you to the tune of, it feels more 10-ish, but I mean, it's still a mediocre escape attempt.
And the sausage is probably like just squishing behind
Wait,
you.
can I have advantage since everybody else is arguing?
You know what? I like that. Roll me a second die, and we're going to see how that goes.
Who's arguing?
Just 10.
Well, I mean, Felix and Jarrell are doing enough arguing for everybody right now, and it seems to be the center of attention. What did you say that last one was again there, Pregnant?
10.
10. Okay, yeah. So, yep, a decidedly average escape attempt. You don't trip over anything, but, your feet, kind of big webby things, are doing a little bit of a slap on the stone floor, and, your loyal sausage is also following you, doing its little 1930s of that it's doing.
Felix is like taking a few laps with his hands on his hips, just like trying to like cool off.
Yes, I can see Felix is short and, boom, 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 like a pouty toddler.
Yep.
Boris is still pouring wine for Hedrick if he hasn't moved.
Oh, yeah.
Did Pregnart
I mean,
stealth
it's
out of the
somewhere
room yet?
between like feeding a baby in one of those freaking hamster bottles.
I was kind of picturing like a what's that when you pour the beer in the funnel?
Beer bomb?
Yeah, that too.
beer
Yeah.
bong.
Yeah.
I like that.
Wine
Or a
bomb.
luge. Well, Hedrick certainly knows his limits. He's going to pass it over to Quinn and Hoblet. Just to make sure wine's getting passed around. It's a celebration. We are reconvened, and at least there's something to celebrate.
Any wine that gets put in Hoblet's face will get drank.
You can hear
Same
Felix
for-
muttering to himself, like, "These fucking alcoholics." Like we
Is this
literally have a job
new to
do.
you?
I try to come up with the plans. I really do. I try to come up with the plans. I figured,
Now, Felix, they can't all be winners.
I'm
now
not talking to you,
here. Whoa. Whoa. Jumpy much, man? Jeez.
That's why I'm taking a lap. Stop talking to me.
I thought he'd be happy to see me. Shit, Boris.
I'll be back to being happy to see you after I'm done being mad at Jarrell. Just don't be in the way of my anger right now.
Said every person with anger management.
Yes, but it's made funnier when he's 3 feet tall.
2.5.
It's like,
Can Jarrell roll to notice if Pregnart and the sausage and the baby leaving the room? Because 10
well-
is my passive perception.
That you notice.
Okay, I noticed.
Yeah, you do notice. It's slight, but it is noticed.
Jarrell will follow Pregnart and Teriso and the baby.
Okay, yeah, it's a little impossible for you to sneak off unnoticed, but yeah. So you walk after them. So now, back in the time closet area, pardon me, we've got a Boris, we've got a Hedrick, we've got a Quinn. Hoblet's still around here. We've got Felix kind of stamping around, and the others. Pregnart, Chorizo, and now Jarrell have walked away, and I'm going to say it's back in the direction of the the round room where everything happened.
Yep.
Okay. Felix takes a few deep breaths, looks at the crew, and just says, "If you guys don't want to listen to my plans, then fine. Like, we're just gonna go, but like, we need to move on. We can't just stay here and get stuck in this place. We are on an ascension quest. We're trying to save the world. Let's not lose sight of that. Okay, we could drink and be merry and have a great time, and and revel in each other's presence. But every second that we spend here fucking around, our friends are dying.
It's only been like 15 minutes, Felix. I mean,
You
I
don't know.
appreciate
You don't know. I don't know how time works here, Hedrick. You don't know how long anything's going
well,
on
I've
for.
been back. I've been back for 15 minutes.
You don't
I
know
had
what
my
I-
drink. I'm ready to move. I agree. This little feller here, if he did as much work as you said he did, we cannot leave him alone. We cannot abandon him. We should leave him in the comparable hands of someone here in this realm.
Thank you, Hedrick.
However, we need to be damn sure we know who we leave him with.
Everyone
shit.
here is in heaven. They all deserve to be here.
He's like popping up and down so bad.
Your camera was actually shaking. It's like that Super Fury anime mode where just the screen shakes.
This is heaven. There are no bad people here.
Well, and I don't even.
I'm gonna take a second and I'm gonna apologize to Hedrick. Sorry, Hedrick. Again, you are not the target of my rage. I'm really sorry.
I know rage, man. I spent enough time in that fucking diamond, but still, I have no idea who you've encountered here in that, this halfling heaven so far.
So far, it's been a nice-looking trader man who wanted to sell me a clay pot for the last 3 months of writing my pen did, so that was a heady experience. And this guy, who's now a baby.
Well, yeah, okay, we need to make some contacts.
Who are you gesturing towards when you say this guy? Because we're
Oh, right.
all three
Here
of us
anymore.
outside the room.
Yeah. So as you gesture to the
I was gonna
empty
say, Felix just noticed, right, that
Yeah.
you're gods. And I'm
Yes,
like,
exactly.
nuts.
100%.
Well, that is
that's
a
it.
good idea there, though, Felix. We could give the baby to the trader. Maybe you'll give us something for the baby.
No. That's
Boris
not...
starts running after Pregnant.
Pregnant runs immediately when he hears somebody mention this baby and like a pause as if they notice that the baby's no longer there.
Wait, is the baby no longer there?
Well,
The
no,
baby's
because-
no longer inside the time closet. And as soon as
Oh,
Felix
no.
said,
As long as he's still in the baby Bjorn attached to you, that's all
Oh.
I care about.
yeah, but as soon as Pregnant overheard Felix say this guy, referring to the baby, he took off in a full sprint.
Which is a very fast froggy sprint. I don't know
Yes.
what your actual movement speed is, but I assume it's fast.
30 feet.
What does it sound like?
Wait, let me get a clean one.
That's
It's
what
like
it sounds
skipping.
It's like a nice long rolling gait, but I mean, he's got big old log frog legs, so boing, ding, boing, ding, boing. He's still covering a massive amount of ground doing that sort of thing. Yeah, so that's our chase music, by the way, just so everyone's aware that that's how this is going to start with, Pregnart running off ahead of the crowd.
Jarrell chases him.
All right.
I'm gonna obviously give chase, but I'm gonna be at the back just like shaking my head because I can't believe we're in this situation.
Is this like one of those like old time cartoons where like Scooby Doo or Fred Flintstone where they just keep like repeating the same background over and over again, and the three of them are just like
There's going to be a lot of that as I roll the credits because if you like us, guys, we can be found on the internet. We're in such places as /r/Hapless Heroes Podcast. If you look on Reddit, Hapless Heroes Podcast, searching on Facebook would also find us. At Hapless Heroes on both Twitter and the Gram would take you to our social media pages there, and each and every single one of those has some sort of sticky or link or whatever that'll take you to the crown jewel of our internet presence, our Discord server, where you could meet, greet, and interact with us, the DMs, the cast, and your fellow fans of the Hapless Heroes Podcast on a daily basis. Please come join our growing internet community. We would love to have you. Now, if you really like us, though, you could leave us a 5-star review on the podcast service of your choice. We're on, the Spotify, the Stitcher, the whatever else we're on, Google and Apple Podcasts /music. If you can leave us a 5-star review or leave us a review of any number of stars, please leave us an honest review, really. But, you could leave it there. And if not, we now have a dedicated 5-star channel in our Discord where you could leave us a review if you want to review us there and you're unable to do so on the normal podcast services. Any of those places, we will see it, we will find it, we will read it out loud on here and give you credit to recognize you as the 5-star human being that you are.
I'll start with this 5-star human, Ryan
Ooh.
Hawk. Hey, buddy. Thanks for being the first one to write in the channel. And I mean, he's just said, Ryan Hawk has been listening to our show for very, very long time. Like, he's been with us and has been one of the people interacting with us since like the very beginning. He said, this podcast is amazing, so many great laughs, and the perfect way to lift the mood on a dull Monday morning. Pulled me out of many depressing days. Us too, buddy. And it is currently the only D&D podcast I listen to. I love you guys. Keep it up. We love you too, Ryan Hawk. Thanks for hanging. Thanks for documenting all the If You Really Love Us's for us. That's just, you've done an amazing job. We are so happy to have you with us. And don't worry, everyone else who's written in that channel, we will acknowledge the lovely people you are soon too.
Absolutely 5 stars.
5 stars.
Hey. Now, if you really, really love us, you could donate to our Patreon, patreon.com/haplessheroes. And I didn't mess it up this time because I actually have it on my screen to look at it, where I could look at our select membership levels, where, maybe just a little bit of support for $1 a month, just show us, that you love us. It's really nice. We appreciate that. Any level we do appreciate. And those things sort of go back to our hosting costs and our equipment costs and the ongoing costs of running this show. So you've kept us independent and ad-free, as it were, because we want to advertise with us degenerates anyway. But
we would gladly take advertisement money, though.
Yeah, we are. We're we have a price, and that price is not high.
Right. We offer tasteful nudes like every 3 episodes.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, and you would have to go to our Patreon to see at which level the tasteful nudes actually are.
You will find that there's a distinct lack of a tier that even offers that.
None of
it's secret.
No tears.
Oh no! If you saw the nudes, there'd be tears.
Yeah. A fucking joy.
They're wholesome.
Yeah. And I will.
Yes, it would be wholesome as well too, and that's the problem.
Boy. I will just take one moment though to acknowledge one of the newer rewards that I've started uploading, and that's on Sundays. I've been uploading the little mini-sodes we've been recording with Hedrick, with his pot of casting, as Hedrick interviews the cast. And they're pretty fun. They're like, small, like 10, 15 minutes, maybe, usually, but, just another way to say thank you. So we just put out a little bonus content for you guys. And that's like $5 level and up. Like pretty much everyone has access to that. So, that's in addition to our bloopers and all the other things. Just another way for us to say thanks. Here's some bonus content. We love you.
And if you like us, right now you like us, Sally Field and the whole deal, get some really heavily padded pants, like in the butt area, like very heavily, like what's the word I'm looking for? Robust butt pads, and just sort of go around town, just scooching on the ground, and people will say, "What are you doing?" And you'll say, "I'm the scoocher. I'm the new guy in town. My name is the scoocher. I scooch from here to there. I scooch to and fro. I'm the scoocher." And they'll be like, "All right, buddy." And you're like, "Oh wait, by the way, listen to Hapless Heroes podcast."
That one's extremely doable.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they sell those butt pads just like.
I'll be disappointed if a couple listeners don't do
robust butt pads, or as they might say, robot pads.
I hate
it's
it.
trademarked now. It's terrible.
Robot pads.
Not robot pads. Not robot pads. Robot pads. It's the accenting that makes all the difference. And before anybody can question me on this, I'm going to outro my cast, starting from my left, where we have Hoblet the Smasher, played by James.
Oh, this was a weird night with a baby.
To his left, we have Lord and Captain Quinn Southwind, played by Mike.
Yeah, I don't do babies.
To his left, we have Hedrick the Entertainer, played by Phil.
Everyone is trying to get to the bar. The name of the bar is called Heaven.
To his left, we have Pregnart, played by Zach. To his left, we have Boris the Butcher, played by Nicole.
I've never traded a baby before. I don't even know what they're worth.
To her left, we have Lord Jarrell the Light, played by John.
Until next time.
And to his left, we have the fabulous Felix Fizzlebottom. I should say the frustrated Felix Fizzlebottom, played by Francesco.
I completely lost control of the situation.
My name is Dave. I've been your host and Dungeon Master for this evening. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Bye.